Going into my first game of my senior season and being the son of Michael Vick and having 0 offers is unacceptable. And being born out of Virginia, you gotta have that dog. And my dad told me one thing: either you gonna let down on yourself or you gonna stand up to that play. And I'm gonna stand up to that play. As I throw a dot, and I mean my receivers, it's out there stiff arming the defenders. We get down to that goal line and you know who's gonna keep that ball. Michael Vick Jr. as he going with his first touchdown of the season. I mean, you know people are gonna say it's gonna get handed to you because you're Michael Vick, son. And no, it hasn't been. I have 0 offers and I'm gonna work for it. I try to juke, break a tackle when I juke too much and got tackled. Being the quarterback I am and driving us down to that goal line again, I got a read option, and I mean, I don't know how I got this ball off in the running back stiff arms into that end zone for a touchdown. But I mean, going into the next play, we got another read option, and I plant my foot and go up that field with a burst of speed, and he could go all the way for a touchdown. And he will go in with his second touchdown of the game, and he is shushing the crowd. We drive down that field again, I roll out of that pocket and throw a dot to my receiver for my first passing touchdown of the game. But just when things were going good, I took a 2-step drop, and I mean, they were coming, and they sacked me for a safety. Michael Vick Jr. never backs down. As you can see, he throws a dot to his tight end for another passing touchdown. I mean, we're up 48-2, and I just throw it over this defender's head, and the wide receiver goes and get it, breaks a tackle, and go in for a touchdown. But as you can see, we're going to win our first season opener game. I had 7 total TDs and 313 yards, 15 carries, and 147 yards. I've already picked up 3 interest offers in Old Dominion, Western Kentucky, and West Virginia. Going into my second game of my senior season, and I'm only having 3 interest offers, I gotta come for more. Go get a read option, and I tote that ball early on to get that momentum going for me and my team. Any team in Virginia is gonna feel us as I strike early to Njoku with a touchdown. And I mean, that's like my main target as I strike him again for a deep touchdown again. He is just catching that ball and running with it. Just when you got that number 1 target that you like to target, Njoku goes in with the 3rd touchdown of the game, and we are just lighting them up. Going to the next way, we had a read option. I laid the boom on this defender, but I fell down. But I mean, as you can see, Michael Vick Jr. kept his foot on that pedal all night and was running that ball as hard as he could. So I tried to strike my receiver early on down the field, and I mean, it got intercepted with my first interception of my season, and I went in and tried to tackle him. And I mean, I was just having flashbacks to my first 3 years here, and I was just throwing pick after pick after pick. I'm like, I can't go back to my old ways, but I throw another interception. And I mean, come on, Michael Vick Jr., you have to get it together. And I mean, I go to the sideline and my dad is over there. He's like, man, hey, get it together. So we said one word, and I looked to my left, and Njoku had the DB beat, and I put it over top, and Njoku will go all the way for a touchdown. That is my 4th passing TD, and that is his 4th receiving. I mean, none of my other receivers could get open, so I have to target Njoku, and he is the only one that could get open, and I throw another dot. But being the athlete that I am, as you can see, I roll out of that pocket and throw it to the tight end for another touchdown. And I mean, Mike Vick Jr. is coming for respect. As you can see, I am now a 2-star recruit, 13 completion, 23 attempts, 448 passing yards, and 5 TDs. Going into Mike Vick Jr. 3rd game of his senior season, he had to come out here and show himself why he is the greatest to ever do it. The first play of the game, he put that ball on that ground and put his head down and run straight. Going into the next play, he rolls out of that pocket and throw a dot to his tight end. And he had one man to beat, but he got tackled. But he got up and he was fired up. And I mean, he told me to feed him, so I said, okay, we got back down to that goal line, and I threw a dot right across the middle, and he went right in with a touchdown. But having the speed that Mike Vick Jr. has, he will scramble out of that pocket every time as he juke. Oh my God, he trying to make a way up that field. But as he dropped back in that pocket, he finds no one open, and he is just sitting there as that O-line is holding up, but his defensive lineman came out of nowhere and sacked me. And I mean, this game I am finding other receivers than Njoku to get open as I put it over top of this DB. And he rolls in the end zone. But rolling out of that pocket, Mike Vick Jr. is trying to find a way to that box, and he is juking, weaving, trying to get up that field. But as you can see, he connects with another receiver for another touchdown. Meaning it's 21-7, and I'm trying to take their heart away, so I throw it over top again, and he almost takes it for 6, but he gets tackled. Coach lines the tight end up as a triple threat down the field as the deep receiver, and I throw it to him, and oh my God, he with a burst of speed, he goes all the way for 6. As you see, I get player of the game with 6 total TDs, and I pick up an offer from my dream school where my dad went, Virginia Tech, and I pick up another offer from ECU. And I pick up 3 more interest offers. Going into my 4th game of my senior season, I mean, Michael Vick Jr. threw it over top early on to try to get a momentum going, but they intercepted the ball. And I mean, early on, things were just not going his way. So we had to toughen up, but he had a read option going into the next play, and he broke one tackle and almost got up that field for more yards. That's one thing that Mike Vick Jr. never does. He never backs down. He will fight for pressure. But he rolls out of that pocket, scan all of his targets before he does, and I mean, the DB just moved away, so I threw a dot dot and put it right in his chest for the touchdown. And I made that right there look like backyard football. As you can see, I am dangerous with these read options as I hit a burst of speed, plant my foot and hit up that field and almost go for 6. And I mean, it's just some unstoppable motor that he has. It's 7-0 and we need to separate ourselves in the second quarter, and I throw it over top and the juking goes and get it and we'll take it all the way for 6. Coming back out of that next drive, I said I wanted to try him and I threw it up and oh my God, Craig Ostrander dunked on this DB. But me being the athletic quarterback that I am, I roll out of that pocket and hit it right across the middle to my tight end for another touchdown. We end the game off 55-7 and I get player of the game with 6 total TDs. And I pick up 2 more offers from Oregon and Virginia, and I have 3 more interest offers. So going into Mike Vick Jr. 5th game of his senior season, I mean, he came out intense and was running that ball early on. And it's like when he run that ball, it's a strike of burst and a flash is out of there. I mean, things are going amazing. He connects to his running back with a really big game. And that takes us all the way down to that goal line and puts us in great position. But I roll out of that pocket and see the running back coming across, and I throw a dot for a touchdown. We go down the next drive back down at the goal line, and I throw it right to Ostrander for another touchdown. I mean, rolling out of that pocket like I'm Flash, I was trying to get loose, and I tried to juke and got the boom laid on me. Coach called a timeout, and he was very angry. But I said, Coach, I got you. I will never back down as I roll out of that pocket, break one tackle, and see my receiver down the field. He catches that ball and get tackled. But I said, Coach, you're going to believe in me as we get down to that goal line, and I throw it to Najukin for a touchdown. And I mean, that took us up 21-0, and that was a strong start. Being left-handed and rolling out to the right is a huge talent, so I roll out again to my right and connect with Ostrander for the second touchdown of the game. I did it again and threw an unbelievable pass while I was getting hit, and oh my God, the receiver caught it in the back of the end zone for a crazy touchdown. I get player of the game, and I end the game off with 6 total TDs. As you can see, I pick up an offer from Wake Forest, and I got 3 more interest offers in West Virginia, Texas Tech, and Texas. So going into my 6th game of my senior season, and I mean, we are striking early, and we are coming out to play as we are getting deeper into the season. I mean, he runs right up that sideline as he catches that ball, and he breaks one tackle and runs out of bounds. I mean, we are getting closer and closer to playoff season. But I mean, I get sacked. I scan all of my targets, and nobody was open. So I mean, now I'm in my own head. But you know what? I said I put my head down, and I'm not gonna stop. So I scramble that ball, break one tackle, and almost go for more yards. But I get a big gain. And I got up and said, "Let's go, man. We got to get a touchdown." But I mean, this defense was rallying that ball all night as I get sacked again. And I said, you know what? I'm not taking it no more. So I scrambled again, juke, and got up that field for a couple yards. And we got down to that goal line, and I connected to my wide receiver for a touchdown. Let's go. But I mean, just when things started going good, I threw an interception, and I didn't know what I was doing out there. And I was frustrated out myself. Come on, but every time I mess up, I pick it back up as I throw a dot across the middle. And I mean, we got a pretty big game, but he almost could have went in for 6. I stayed relentless, ran behind my O-line, put my head down, and got in that end zone for my touchdown. And I mean, this is just a work of art, scrambling out of that pocket and throwing that ball on a run, and it's a bullet right into his chest. We get back down to the goal line, I scramble out of that pocket and try to run the ball, and I jump up and get laid out. So I said no huddle it, and I ran it again and ran it in for 6, and I was fired up, and I felt unstoppable. But we go on to get the win as I get player of the game with 4 total TDs. And I pick up an offer from the Texas Longhorns, and I got 3 more interest offers in Wisconsin, West Virginia, and Washington State. On into my 7th game of my senior season. I mean, this was the last game until the playoffs, and I tried them early, so I threw it over top, and they were 0-6, and I could tell as we completed the pass. But we had a read option, and they baited me, and they hit me, and I pitched the ball a little too far out, and it was almost a turnover, but we got back on it. But I slid it right through my O-lineman and ran that ball in for my first rushing touchdown of the game. And I was fired up with the teammates. But going into this game, I'm just not scared of running that ball this game. I will run right through you, so you better get out of my way, because it's like a train coming through. But I drop back in that pocket, look to my right, and Craig Ostrander is wide open for the touchdown. But I mean, back here in bad territory, I mean, I scrambled out of that pocket and tried to get the ball away, and they slung me by my neck and almost hurt me. I threw the defender off of me and kept running that ball and tried to get some respect. And they are gonna respect me. I roll out of that pocket and find my number 1 target, Najukin, and he goes in for a touchdown. I mean, we're already up 34-0 in the second quarter, but I scramble out of that pocket again and go and jump in the end zone for another rushing TD. Praises to the Most High. Coach takes me out for the rest of the game. The me for the playoffs. For 5 passing TDs and 2 rushing TDs. Now pick up an offer from Wisconsin and pick up 3 more interest offers in West Virginia, Washington State, and Washington. We're going into playoff number 1 game. It's either win or go home, and we're not going home. So we started off with a little dump off pass as I rolled out of that pocket and got some yards. As you can see, we made something out of nothing. When Mike Vick Jr. rolls out of that pocket, it is scary because he will dot you up or he will run it, but he dotted him up. And that took us all the way down to the goal line. But as you can see, he rolls out of that pocket again, and this time he bends that corner and he gets a straightaway and goes right in the end zone for the rushing TD. And he got up and said, come on, he wants some more. But going into this read option, he finds nothing but green grass and he jukes back inside and then he breaks one tackle and he almost breaks away. And it's gonna get scary in these playoffs because it's win or go home. You gotta have that dog in you and you gotta be built for this. But I roll out of that pocket again and I see nothing but a wide receiver wide open. I throw it all the way across the field for a completed pass. And I nearly walk in the end zone for the touchdown. Let's go! I mean, just look how special Mike Vick Jr. is as he rolls out of that pocket and he just waits for it to elevate and he throws the ball and put it right in the money pocket chest. It's 48-0 going into the 4th quarter and I end them off with some sauce as I roll out of that pocket and throw a dot to my tight end. He scores, but we go on to win. And I get player of the game with 7 total TDs. And I have picked up an offer from West Virginia and I have picked up interest offers in Colorado, Northwestern, and Stanford. So going into playoff game number 2, we wanted all of the respect, so we started off with a read option. You know, Mike Vick Jr. took it and almost got a first down early on. I roll out of that pocket and I throw a dot and just look how elusive this running back was as he broke 2 tackles and almost took it for 6. I mean, if he didn't trip up, that would have been a touchdown. And we're striking early against 7-0 South Boston. We're going into the next play. As you can see, I get scooped up on this read option and somehow I got the pitch away and the running back stiff arms his way into the end zone. We're going into the next play. I rolled out of that pocket and I didn't want to throw the ball, but I still threw it and it turned out to be an interception. And I'm like, come on, man, I could have threw that away. But look how special I am as I roll out of that pocket again and I throw it up to the running back in an unbelievable throw and an unbelievable catch that he caught. Mike Vick Jr. is just so special as he throw the ball and does a 360 and still completes the pass. The next play, he sees a mismatch and he sees the wide receiver got him beat and he throws a dot right in the middle of the end zone. And I told you once and I'm not gonna tell you again, get out of my way when I'm running that ball. I tried to lower my shoulder, he didn't want any smoke and I got hit really good. I go in the very next play with a rushing touchdown and I'm fine. I mean, we're up 34-7 already. We're taking this game. I'm going to get player of the game with 4 total TDs. Right after that game, Deion Center called me and offered me a scholarship to Colorado and I get 3 more interest offers from Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. Going into playoff number 3 game, we wanted to strike first play of the game and I waited for Najulian to get open and he got wide open and he will take it all the way for 6 and we're fired up early on. And we drive down to the goal line and score again, a goal of 14-0. And I don't know what got into Mike Vick Jr., but he was running so physical. As you can see, he run this defender over and steps out of bounds. And Mike Vick Jr. is trying to make this a statement game as the wide receiver burns the DB and he puts it over top for another touchdown. And on this read option, he laid the boom on him and he kept going and tried to get to that first down. And I don't know what's gotten into him to this game. And he's having an amazing one as he throws the ball and the wide receiver dunks on the DB on his head top. I walk in the end zone for a rushing TD. And I'm fired up with my teammates as I go in to get player of the game with 5 total TDs. And I have picked up an offer from the Ohio State and I have picked up 3 interest offers in Northwestern, Stanford, and California. So going into the championship game, I am at my dream home, Virginia Tech, where my dad played and I started off intense rolling out that pocket, completing that pass with a pretty big game. But just when things got started, I got boomed and fumbled the ball and they recovered it and I turned over the ball and I was in distraught. And I mean, anything that I could do, I just cannot look bad on this game. But they go down and score, but I don't care. I'm gonna strike back as I throw it to my receiver and he catches that ball, but he gets tackled. But I put the team on my back as I run right up this middle, break one tackle, and he laid the boom on me, but I was still in the end zone for the touchdown. Somehow we missed the extra point, but I got sacked. 14-6, but that is not stopping me. I'm gonna find a way as I strike and the wide receiver catches the ball for a huge gain. And as you can see, I'm trying to do anything to put my team in position to score as I run that ball, but they push me out of bounds. And I'm telling you, they better come harder because I'm coming physical. I mean, I'm patient, scanning all of my receivers, and I throw a dot right across the middle for a touchdown. And we got to go for 2. And as you can see, I run that ball in for the 2-point conversion. And we have got the momentum when we got to the goal line as I roll out of that pocket and went in for another rushing TD. And we go up 21-14 on him, and now I'm trying him. I'm throwing it to the receiver, and he is dunking on their DBs. And I think they're giving up as I find another wide receiver wide open for another touchdown. I throw an amazing dot for another touchdown. But as you can see, I ran that ball physical and hurdled into the end zone for another touchdown. And we go on to win the game, and we are champions as I get player of the game with 8 total TDs. I am now a 5-star recruit as I pick up an offer from Cal and got 3 more interest offers in Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and LSU. After having 0 offers my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I now have a ton of offers. And where do you think Mike Vick Jr. will end up? And wherever he goes, he will get them a championship. So comment down below, where do you think he will go, or where should Mike Vick Jr. go?